Keegley's direct to seller on this lead, where there is 9 potential properties that this portfolio owner is looking to liquidate. Now, when we talked to him, it sounded as though he was highly motivated and wanted to sell those properties in a package. So we gave him an offer for $1.6 million for all of the properties. Actually, it's a pretty good offer, assuming that the properties all need work. And that's not gonna fly for our seller. And so right now I'm sitting on a lead that ultimately is not gonna go anywhere for my team. But if only I knew somebody that was really good at creative finance, I might be able to potentially.
I got you.
You got me?
Let's go.
All right. Okay, let's call him.
Let's do it.
Hi, is Richard there?
Who's this?
Hi, Richard. My name is Pace. I was given your phone number from a company called Keegley, who you guys are talking about selling your properties potentially.
Yes, but I'm an agent myself.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. So they gave me your information because they said they sent you an all-cash offer that doesn't sound like it's actually going to work for you.
What company? I got lots of people are sending me their offers.
The name of the company that gave me your information is Keegley. They're a pretty big company, pretty big operation here in town.
Keegley.
Yeah, Keegley. Keygle. Keegley.
Did they tell you which property? Because I have 7 townhouses was under escrow right now.
Yeah, they said that they gave you an offer for $1.6 million on 9 of your properties.
Oh, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, I understand. That's why I'm calling. So a lot of times what will happen is Keegley, when they can't make a number work with a seller, they call me because I'm a guy that typically pays really close to retail. Like if you looked up Realtor.com and you looked at the price of the house on Realtor.com, that's typically the price that I'm paying.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, if you can do that.
Yeah. So tell me, what are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to do? Are you moving to another state? Are you retiring from being a landlord? What are you doing?
I'm moving out of the country pretty much.
Oh wow! So you just don't want to have anything to do with the properties at this point. You want to cash out, market's hot, and move.
Or yeah, because all my property are free clear title. There's no mortgage.
Love it.
Cash.
Love it. So
some of them, I was hesitant because some of them bring such good income. Because
Right.
one of my 4-bedroom,
I've got
I rent out to the Section A. They pay me $1,700 a month.
Yeah, it's awesome. The problem is if you're overseas, it's going to be hard to manage those.
Yeah, I can give to I'm not going to manage myself. I have to give to one of the management company. Only problem with management company, if there's repair or something needed, then usually those are big cost.
Got it. So have you considered maybe upgrading from being a landlord to being a lender?
Right now, no. I would prefer, because my brother is a professional stockbroker. He has been doing this all his lifetime. He's like 50-some years old.
Oh man, he should have gotten real estate. All the people I know that are stockbrokers don't have money.
Yeah, he had the money. He survived all the up and downs.
That's awesome.
He's very experienced. He managed a top period when he used to have a company. He was a co-founder with other people. They are managed about $2 or $3 billion.
That's awesome.
Of the funds, but not here. He's in China, so he managed. Basically, his company was located. He do something in China. That's what happens. Because of that, he advised me to maybe cash out and allocate some funds, maybe half of my funds to him, so he will manage it, put it into the market.
Yep. Well, Richard, can I tell you what I do for a living so you can understand where maybe you and I could do something together, or maybe the answer is just no, maybe we're not a good fit together. I don't know.
What do you do?
So you're talking to a whole bunch of investors, right? All those investors right now, those guys all buy with cash, right? So they're going to come in, they're going to give you an offer between 60 to 70% of the value so that they can buy the house with equity and have some upside, right? You understand how that works?
Not like that. Right now, I have 2 contracts in the escrow.
Awesome.
Okay.
Who are you selling those ones to?
I would keep that because those are closed like next week. So I will see if it's closed up.
Okay,
one,
so
one of them are definitely closed.
Got it. So
Because
you've got
one of the
7.
house, which is a 6109 West Moreland Street. That one was I think on the Realtor.com is that was value about 206, 207, something like that.
Yeah.
I got a guy who put in me for 194 under the contract.
Oh, is he the homeowner? Is he going to move into the house?
No, he's not. He's the one. He's the middleman. This is what happens. And he asking me for the key because my tenant is barely just moved out. So he asking me the key for the property. I didn't get a key, so I drove over to the house myself.
That guy's going to cancel.
Because what happens, when I was there, I meet actually a buyer.
Yeah. Oh, you met his buyer, yeah. He's a wholesaler.
Right. His buyer showed me a cashier check to open escrow.
Oh, got it.
On the cashier check, it had my house address was on his cashier check.
Awesome.
But he's not my customer. He's a customer of him.
Yeah, it's called wholesaling.
Wholesaling, because I asked, the guy was telling me, he was buying from this guy for $200,000.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. So he's making some money. That's good for him.
So he make about $5,000 or $6,000.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Between me and him. And he doesn't have to open another escrow because on the contract that I was with him, I agree he can reassign the contract, the lease to somebody.
Yeah, he's probably just doing a double close.
Exactly, because he even don't have to spend the escrow money because this guy the final buyer spend the escrow money to open the escrow.
Oh yeah, well, Richard, I'm very aware of how that all works. We do stuff like that sometimes.
Okay, yeah. That's even with that, the number you can tell 206 on the Realtor.com and what actually it was gone was about $12,000.
Which property was that?
6109 West Moreland Street.
6109 West Moreland Street. Got it. Okay, cool. So Richard, let me ask you this, because maybe I'm a good fit, maybe I'm not, but I a lot of times will pay very close to the retail value of the properties when the seller will give me terms. And maybe that doesn't work for you right now, but as you get closer to moving outside of the country, you might come back to me and say, hey, you know what? I keep getting these low offers. I want to sell these 2 or 3 properties to you. As long as you give me my number, I'd be willing to finance you.
I know how that works, okay? It was the financing, I know how that works.
Perfect. So I don't need to educate you.
And as far as I know right now, I have when this whole thing to start it, because I was trying to just sell myself. I didn't use a multiple listing service, which
right.
is I'm a realtor. I can do that over there.
Right.
But to do that,
That's
I make more money, but I have to upgrade the house. I have
Exactly what he sold.
make house vacant, and then upgrade
It's a
it
homeowner?
before I sell with top dollars. I can do that. But it just costs just right now. I feel like it's too hot weather right now. Maybe it would cool down. Winter time, I probably will be able to do that. But now, I think right now the market is pretty still good. So I was trying to.
Well,
my property goes away.
Richard, I know what you're trying to accomplish, and I hope you accomplish it. So I'm not trying to push you down an agreement with me. All I'm saying is maybe in 60, 90, or 120 days, I follow up with you. And if you've sold the properties, great. If you haven't sold the properties, maybe we revisit the conversation of having you finance a couple of those properties to us, and I pay you full price.
Yeah, I don't know what's your guys' down payment usually?
It depends on the seller, and it depends on how many houses I'm doing. If I'm doing multiple houses, I can a lot of times do a higher down payment. I have some sellers that give me $0 down.
That's absolutely not going to work.
Richard, I didn't make an offer to you. I'm not offering you $0 down. I'm giving you an idea of what other sellers allow me to buy their houses for.
Ooh.
So, and the reason being is, Richard, what's the value they're getting? The value they're getting is full price, right? And then a lot of times they'll charge me an interest rate. So not only did they get full price, but they've been upgraded from a landlord to a lender, and now they're making interest on a full price offer. So you might look at it as a down payment, but I feel like that's a short-sighted thought process. The long-term thought process is, how do I get full price and make interest on my full price offer? That is a true investment.
Right. For the real deal, let me tell you one thing, because if I have the cash, have the money I put into my stock market with my brother, I don't know about in the future. For the past so many years, he make somewhere around between like 7.5 to 9 to 10% return.
Yep.
So I think that's a pretty good bet.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like it. All I say is that I'd say 90% of my sellers, here's how it works, Richard. 90% of my sellers start out saying, that probably isn't a good fit for me. And then I follow up with them 2, 3, 4 months later, and depending on what houses, he hung up. Let me call him back.
Hello.
Hey, Richard, when should I follow up with you? Should I follow up with you in like 60 to 90 days?
Right, yeah, please.
Perfect. Okay. What I want you to do is go and sell as many of those houses as you can for as high as you can, and whatever you have left over, I'd love to have a conversation with you about you being the bank.
Okay, cool. Okay.
You're the man, Richard. I appreciate you.
All right, bye.
All right, see ya. So, a couple things that's interesting is, number one, he's already sold 2 of the 9, and he's got earnest money on one of them, so that's something super interesting.
Yep.
That tells me it's a cash transaction. That tells me either they're going to do a value add, right? Is it an older property in like Central Phoenix?
No, it's in West Valley. It's in the West Valley, south of the 10. It's a 1,200 square foot house.
Somebody's going to live in the property.
At $200,000.
He's selling the property to a homeowner.
It sounded like it was a wholesale deal.
Yeah, but what would be the value on buying the house at $200,000 that's worth $210,000?
Didn't make any sense, because in actuality, that property is at best worth completely fixed up $210,000. So $10,000 more than what he sold it for.
I mean, the only thing I could think of is maybe
he got a
guest house or something.
He got over 100% value for the property that in its current condition.
That'll be
He
interesting.
got like 120% of value.
You know what we should do? Is we should follow up on this, and we should do a little thing where we call the buyer. And we say, hey, look, we see you closed escrow on this deal. We were looking for it. Man, we'd love to add you to the buyer's list. It seems like you paid 100% of value. What were you doing? I think that'd be a really good video for people to have a conversation. Like, follow up with the buyer, have a conversation. What is your strategy? Are you adding square footage? Are you adding a guest house? Because I don't see the upside in buying a property at 100% of value without getting terms on it.
Right.
Like, the dude's paying cash.
Strange, right?
It's strange until you talk to the buyer, and then most of the time...
It's also strange until we see if the deal closes.
Right, and that's what I was saying when I put him on mute. I'm sitting here saying, the dude's going to bail out a contract, but he brought a cashier's check for EMD.
Right.
So what that tells me is, every time I've followed up with that buyer, like let's say I lose that on a cash deal, they move forward. I'm like, how is that guy paying that much money? Either A, they were going to do it as an Airbnb, which that area doesn't make sense for an Airbnb. B, they're going to add square footage, or C, they're going to add like a full like apartment complex in the back. Like, you're going to split the lot or something. Can the lot be split there? Is it a big enough spot? So I don't know what the upside there is, but somebody sees something that we're not seeing just from the get-go.
Not only that, but when I pulled it up, dude, it was already pending. It was like, he said that he wasn't listing it on the MLS. It's pending on the MLS.
Interesting. So one thing I can tell you right now is that one of my mottos, and something that's going to be engraved on my tombstone, is going to be, buyers are liars, sellers are worse. And you never know what a seller's saying, whether it's true or it's not true. Another thing is that we can buy very close to retail, if not even a little bit over retail, as long as you get terms. A lot of the sellers that sell to us on terms, Bobby and I are going to go down to a property in Yuma right now, or this weekend, hopefully. Maybe I do it by myself, I don't know. But we had a student bought a house, paid $10,000 over retail, but he's going to cash flow $700 a month. So
right.
Utilizing creative finance, we can get some of those deals done. Now so I tell people, all my students, I tell them there's 3 reasons why a seller won't sell to you on seller finance. 3 reasons. Reason number 1, they're confused of the benefits, right? So like, you heard me say to Richard, he goes, well, man, no down payment. I go, yeah, bro, they're getting a benefit of a full price home and they're making interest on the full price offer. Like that's the most amazing investment of all time. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. So a lot of times you get sellers that are just simply confused by the potential benefits and the upside of creative finance that you just got to overcome that super easy. Number two, you have a seller that's like, I have a wedding I have to pay for in 2 weeks and I have to sell this house right now. So they need the money right now. That's reason number two. Reason number three is they literally have no pain. And the way I overcome the pain thing is either A, creative finance can amplify people's pain or amplifies their motivation by adjusting the price or adjusting the terms, which is cool. But the number one thing to overcome the objection of no motivation is a clock. And so what I just do is I follow up in 60 to 90 days. I see how the process went, see what he sold, what he didn't sell, and then I pick out the 2 or 3 properties he doesn't sell, and I work out terms on those.
Dope. Love it.
So I think we should follow up with the guy, put a calendar alert in your thing saying he's supposed to close in 2 weeks. Let's follow up with that buyer in 4 weeks, call him up. Maybe you show people how to add buyers to your buyers list type of thing. That'd be a cool little deal.
Love it.
Cool. Did you learn anything there, Bobby?
Just, it's like watching Michael Jordan shoot free throws.